Hope Welch, a sophomore at NJIT and a future lawyer with a past as an accused felon. A clerical error almost ruined my career, which was bad luck, but also a lesson about how precarious justice can be, even if Americans are innocent until proven guilty. I have planned to be a lawyer since I was a little girl. To me, justice is impartiality and fairness. It is equity. Justice protects people from false accusations, but justice also holds people accountable for harm they have done. My arrest was an injustice that I was in a position to fight, but not everyone is. I paid a lawyer 4 months' rent to advise me against taking a plea deal that I would have denied regardless. I knew I was innocent. I knew it was unfair. I was offered a misdemeanor charge, a suspended sentence. I would have escaped jail time, but I would have had to answer for a crime of moral turpitude. I turned down the deal, and not an hour later, I discovered the evidence against me did not exist. The case was null prosequi before it even reached the grand jury. How did they get the evidence to arrest me? Was it the quasi-confession the police had pressured me into before I was under arrest? Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? I did not understand the question. Definitions were not given. I was 18, alone. It was terrifying. I was crying. The specifics of my crime do not matter. Just that I did not do it, I could not have done it, and they knew it. About a third of Americans are arrested by the age of 23, according to Robert Brame, a professor of criminal justice and criminology at the University of North Carolina at Charlotte. I am one of those Americans, but I got lucky. I did not have to rely on the young, sweaty public defender in an oversized suit, red-faced and running around the courtroom taking attendance by show of hands. When I found the money to pay a lawyer, I lost money that could have gone to school. Police are allowed to lie to you for hours and hours and hours in a room with no clock. They can present your confession in court, but you know what police cannot do? Submit your insistence of innocence as testimony. That is hearsay, but a confession is evidence. Police do not tell you that when they question you. It is not in the Miranda rights. That is not equity. There is no equal bargaining. When a cop tells you to get out of the car, he is not breaking the law. You can say no. You should say no. But you get out of the car because he does not tell you there's a choice. When he tells you that he cannot help if you do not talk, he doesn't tell you that he can't if you do. I talked to the police because I was scared, and I knew better, but what if you do not and you're scared? The inequitable relationship between police and citizens is an obstacle to justice. They have the knowledge and thus the power. Everyone should know they have the right to say no. It is not an admission of guilt, it is an exercise of constitutional rights. Money is an obstacle to justice. It is not fair that I got away because I found the money. What would the overwhelmed public defender have said? I paid for a lawyer, so they knew I mattered, but everyone matters. And what of uncertainty? I was not sure I could scrape together the money for a lawyer, but I knew I could not pay for two. And if you hire a lawyer, they told me, then you pay the public defender too. That is not justice. And if I accepted the plea deal, I would have had to pay court fees. And what if I could not? Would I face jail time for disobeying the terms? Do you know who never has to pay? Do you know who faced no consequences despite accusing me without evidence? The prosecutor, who offered a midnight deal as a last result to try and get me for something when there was nothing, when he knew there was nothing. The man who forced me to divulge my accusations to my school, who forced me to negotiate with a website displaying my arrest record but not the outcome, not null prosequi. The prosecutor did not pay a dime, but he tried to steal my future. That is not justice. The power is supposed to be with the people, but I was fighting the state. The prosecutor wasted my time, the court's time, and my lawyer's time, but I am the one who paid the price. The system is failing to protect the people it is intended to presume innocent. My charge carried a mandatory minimum of 1 year and a maximum sentence of 10 years. I was in a position to take a risk, but many people are too afraid to. Justice should be for everyone, not just the lucky people who can afford a lawyer, who can afford a fight. Justice matters to me not because I had a taste of injustice. It matters to me because there are people whose entire lives are lost to injustice, who pay the price for a broken system. I do not believe that people should be bullied into forfeiting their innocence. The law should protect everyone, not just lucky people. Justice matters to me because I had the ability to make a choice. My circumstances gave me a choice, and nobody should be trapped by injustice by chance. I fundamentally believe that every person has a right to liberty, to justice. So many people are so distant from the accused. Those people are not like them, they say. But I am like you. It happened to me. I was accused with no evidence. And I paid for it, but not with my freedom and not with my life. It could happen to you too. Justice matters to me because if injustice can happen to anyone, it can happen to everyone. One day I will be a lawyer and I will be the change, but until that day, my goal is to educate people, to humanize the other. I will continue to share my story and I will be unashamed because I am a face of those 1 in 3 Americans. It is injustice to be accountable for an arrest without a conviction. It is injustice to be forced to take a plea deal because you are afraid. This is how I am making a difference. I am sharing my story. I will continue telling people they can say no to injustice. We can say no to injustice. We can save justice.